Okay, my friends, it is Sunday morning. Matthew Swanson, feeling somewhat wretched because the coffee is not yet entirely within me. I just recently learned that your coffee doesn't actually do anything until 20 to 30 minutes after you drink it. I have psychosomatic objections to that assessment, but I will suspend disbelief. Anyway, I just got up and walked into the studio and discovered that the illustrator is still awake, has not slept for a long time. We're going to have a peek in on her magical world. We're going to start by the abundance of seating options, each of which plays a critical role in her process. We have the potter's stool that used to be used by Seiko, potter extraordinaire, as she sat by her wheel. We have the old Office Depot.
She didn't just sit by her wheel.
What did she do, Robbie?
She was actually potting on the wheel. It wasn't that she sat nicely by the wheel.
Did your husband say, sat doing nothing by the wheel? Or did he say that she sat by the wheel, not...
It makes it sound like she was very idle by the wheel. She was working hard.
She sat like a boss by that wheel. She was turning those pots. We have the Office Depot faux suede office chair that used to satisfy Robbie once upon a time.
It still satisfies me.
Didn't we get this one time?
We got it as a special reward for me.
It was an extraordinary investment at the time. It was far beyond.
Probably the most expensive piece of furniture that we had ever bought, and I think it was like $120.
There you go. And Robbie, what are you sitting in now? Did someone who loved you buy you a special, ergonomically designed, Scandinavian-influenced chair?
Rocking chair.
Yeah.
Kneeling rocking chair.
Supposed to protect your posture?
Supposed to.
Is it doing its work, Robbie?
My posture is... Yeah. I feel like I should not be blaming my furniture on my posture.
Oh, you should not, and yet it sounds like you still are.
Not be blaming my posture on my furniture.
It sounds like this is sort of a point of moral ambiguity.
The fact is, my posture is still terrible, but it's a different chair.
Okay.
It's terrible in a different way.
How do you decide on any given moment which of these three seating options you will use?
Well, I was using that one. I use this one when I need my electric blanket because it's bad to rock on the electric blanket.
And yet, what's happening right now?
Here's what happened. Augie came in earlier. I was sitting in that chair.
Yeah.
He wanted to snuggle with the electric blanket. So I gave him the electric blanket in that chair and got this chair, even though I have a bruise on my shin and this is not the ideal chair for right now.
You know what our audience assesses from you right now is that if you are having trouble, blame your child. Blame your 8-year-old.
Yes.
Make it his fault.
It's his fault. And then he left.
Yeah.
He stayed under the electric blanket for about a minute.
You know what, Robbie? In 10 years, he's going to leave us forever. Okay? So enjoy him while you can.
Really
yeah.
sad.
Okay. So let's see what's happening here, Robbie.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah, okay. That sounds like a stirring beginning to what's about to be shown.
I was doing more interesting things earlier.
Okay.
Right now, I have this email that you wrote me.
Oh, do you say that with a touch of scorn? Even though the email was lovingly rendered and I spent a great deal of time on it.
Look what its subject line is.
What does it say?
Cookie book ideas from my love.
Oh, I couldn't have written that. Okay. All right, phew. Thank you for pointing out the...
So here's the thing. I have this spread that we were told was problematic.
Yeah.
And I need to fix it.
I like the passive voice you used there. We were told it was problematic.
I don't want to point any fingers.
No, our very, very wise, astute, and visually smart editor and art director, Catherine and April, pointed out some objections based on their stunning experience. And Robbie has been asked to reconsider and rethink.
Okay, so I think that Matthew's...
I think they were saying...
Matthew's suggestion, yes, they were saying it's sort of hard to follow. Do you go down this way, which is how you do go, or do you go this way? Because some of them I have set up as spreads.
Right.
So I think your suggestion was to make these panels that go across.
To make it look more properly like a comic.
And maybe put some arrows. But here's the thing, Matthew.
Yeah.
This copy...
Copy means words.
Copy means words, everyone.
But you know what? Most novelists don't use the word copy to talk about their language because it's sort of...
It's better than copy?
Well, it's more artistic than copy. I remember I used the word copy to talk to my words to Catherine, and she was like surprised that an author would use the word copy. But it's because I have this other identity in the marketing world where it's called copy. Anyway, the copy, the language, the manuscript, the greatness, the poetry.
The writing, the piece of writing. Yeah. So... it's different lengths, right? So this one's very long. So this panel would have to be, this panel would essentially have to be this wide, right? And then the next panel would have to cross, oops.
I'm just saying, Robbie, break it into the grid that it already is by drawing horizontal lines and letting the gutter be the vertical divider, and then just make it look panel-y by having the boxes. And you could add some weight to the rule to
wait. Have the gutter be the vertical divider?
Yeah, like if you were this is a 6-panel comic, this spread. So the upper left is one panel, the upper right is the next panel.
Oh, yeah. Like this. Yeah. I see.
So just break it into a grid.
I see.
Just add like a visual divider that lets the eye say, oh, I'm looking at a comic right now.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And then you're right, the descriptive text is a variable length, but I think that's okay as long as the illustrations are the same length.
And I just need to make these strips so sort of like three even bars is what you're saying.
You know what? Think about those Sunrise Summer, our picture book. I will get it because there's shucks, I gave your dad that copy. Somewhere, Sunrise Summer breaks the pages into the same sort of organization, right? Where there's 3 slices on the right, 3 slices on the left. And each one has its own topic. Here, this is just a sequence of actions, but I think your eye will read it as a progression better if it's broken into panels.
Okay, so my question is, do I try to make 3 equal panels, right? That would make sense.
I think so, and that's going to make you have to rethink that lower right a little bit, right?
Which is okay because, I mean, except for the, well, okay.
Or the 5 can each be equal, and they can be up a little bit from the bottom. You can leave the lower right chunk its same size, and then use the rest of this space to have 5 equal, and that will just give you a little bit of extra space down there at the bottom of the left.
How would I have 5 equal?
Well, there's 5 beats in the scooter progression, right?
Right.
So I would just say, divide the space however you need to, so that those 5 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're their own thing. Maybe they have a shading thing that's different, and then let this be its own thing.
Right, but then it would be hard to know if this is, so meaning that this would be thicker?
There would be space below it. There would be some space below it.
So here's my other thought, is that we could also have this piece go all the way across the bottom and have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And then the 6th beat of the progression
is just him going off.
Him going off.
Okay, right? So make this 6.
6 beats.
Okay.
And then have the text. But the text can go by itself at the bottom if we've already established that instead of up to down, you're reading right to left.
Right.
Then it can. Will you split it at the bottom, or will it all be on the left and Mona will be on the right?
I was gonna split it. Is that a bad idea?
My gut says to put that paragraph on the left and just have Mona with the...
My turn.
My turn said Mona on the right.
Okay.
I think that could be really fun.
Okay.
Okay.
So now to make this into a grid.
Yeah.
So
is it going to be a grid of 8 now?
No, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? And the
you're going to put 3 beats in the second row?
Yeah, I think so.
How will you do that without having the panels be different sizes?
Actually, I think I'm going to... These are the first 3, right? 1, 2, 3. So this one's skinny. Well, they're not. They're going to be different sizes.
Okay. You know what? And that will make them look even comic-y.
Right?
Yeah. But the gutter is a problem, so you have to know that it's going to cut whatever you do in half. Okay. You know these things.
I know.
Wait, Robbie, have you designed a book before?
A couple.
A couple? Okay.
I do want it to be known, since I'm letting people in on my
secrets
process.
Okay, okay, guys, everybody, Robbie's about to brag a little bit. Doesn't happen very often. Robbie's an understated. Here, before you speak, put on the genius hat.
It's hilarious how wrong you are about what I'm about to say.
Okay, let's see it. Okay. Do you want me to get a harmonica and make a riff? Okay, sorry, go ahead.
I am not.
You are not?
The best illustrator in the world.
What?
And in fact...
Wait, everybody's very disappointed.
There are many things that I do that are probably bad practice.
Ooh.
And that if any of my illustration professor friends are watching, I'm going to be a little embarrassed about.
Okay.
But
please roll forward into
I'm
this
just going to roll forward.
Confession.
Well, that was the confession.
Oh, that was.
I'm not a real authority on this.
Robbie
I just have done it a lot.
Laid down the gauntlet of her own inadequacy.
Yeah.
And
I just
from
want
there.
you all to know.
Okay, great.
So I think Matthew.
Yes.
We decided that Mona's going to be on this right-hand side.
Yeah.
Okay.
At the very bottom.
At the very bottom. So, okay. So, sorry. So I'm going to try to divide this page. Oh my gosh. Did I do that? Look how well I assessed.
Robbie is always good at balancing humility with self-congratulations. I do love that about her. Okay. So you okay.
I came very close to dividing that page evenly without knowing it.
And everyone applauds you for it.
Thank you. But I actually don't want to divide it evenly.
Oh.
I think I want this to be a little bit smaller, and the bottom one. Oh, listen, Alden's playing the trumpet in the next.
See,
room.
this is the reality
This is what
of life.
life is like.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna get a little concert now. Alden just started playing the trumpet this week.
And she can already play Twinkle Twinkle
She
Little
was a
Star.
saxophone player before, and Mr. Freisen, thank you, Mr. Freisen, is letting her indulge her other interests. So we will see how it goes. Right now, you can hear how it's going.
Okay.
Robbie, would you like to keep our friends with us and let them see the sausage getting made, or
I
should
think
we?
so.
Okay. So anyone who doesn't want to see an illustrator do
all
illustrator
of those
things?
people could be gone already.
Oh.
Okay. So
Yes.
I need to change this to black copy.
Right, because right now it is reversed.
So
okay?
I'm going up to my character styles and changing it to none.
Right now.
But then it took away the italics, so I got to add that back in because
Oh.
Matthew gets really mad about dropping out the italics.
Imagine that. A writer getting mad when somebody takes out the formatting that
Formatting?
that gives meaning and substance to the nuance of his carefully wrought text. Robbie, don't make the people think that that's some sort of insignificant thing. Don't make them think that. You've already established yourself as a credible authority, and you might lead them astray.
I just said I'm not a credible authority.
Okay, you are an incredible authority.
That's right. Okay,
What's
so
happening over
here's
here?
the thing.
Okay, so Robbie took the words that had been in white on that sort of charcoaly swatch.
And I moved them over to
put
here.
them over here.
But now I have my 3 pieces of text. I think maybe these top 2, maybe it needs to be 2 and then 3, right?
Okay. Just in terms of the words that your writer... Hey, remember that the 6th beat is just Ben scooting off, so that can be a very small panel, right?
Right.
You need 3 in the top and 3 in the middle. You need 3 and 3.
I can do it however I want.
Oh, but then you'd have to have 2 and 4. The point is you have 6 that you have to accommodate, right?
Right.
So 3 and 3 makes sense from a balance perspective, right?
Well, except this one is so
Do you need some writer
heavy.
to make it...
To make it shorter? No, I'm afraid that this is just how...
So the gutter, my friends, is the valley between the 2 sides of the spread, which is 2 pages next to each other.
This is the
gutter
gutter.
is a problem for
Because-
every designer
Because you can't open the book flat, usually. It just opens like that, and then some stuff disappears in there.
Yeah, and people sometimes try to anticipate what the gutter does and does not reveal, but it's better to avoid it entirely. Which means that any 2 pages next to each other have to function as this sort of very intricate...
Okay, so here's how I'm going to partly solve this. I am going to,
Yes.
what I'm going to show you
Yes.
is these 2 blocks are showing me how this page is divided. Okay.
Oh.
So I'm going to take a screenshot of this.
Where did the illustrations go?
I made that layer go away so that I can do this. So, so this is just a divider to show me where the text is, how wide the text blocks are, and then where I want to divide these panels, right?
Okay.
So I took a screenshot of that. Then I have this keyboard shortcut set up. So then I go to my desktop, which is what keeps the screenshots. I open my screenshot. It opens in Photoshop down here.
Oh, this is Robbie's tablet. Do you want to say anything about that?
No.
Okay.
And then I select the entire image. I copy it. I close that window. And then I created a series of actions, so I just have to push one button, and it places it and resizes it into this.
More bragging.
More bragging. That was bragging. I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of that.
I wish writers could have series of actions.
So then,
Yeah.
I think you probably can.
Like where it just makes a sentence for me or a great metaphor?
Yeah.
Okay. There's probably a bot that will replace me within a few weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now I know where that is divided. So I think what I'm going to do is I got to make these guys a little bit smaller.
Yeah, that's sad, but I get
right?
it.
Oh, and then I got to make sure that I connect them with the right piece of copy.
Yes, that's very important.
Top left, middle left, bottom left. Look what I did, you guys.
What'd you do? Did you do something else great?
I put them in little folders so that the top left guy here, Ben, that's in one folder, so I can turn the whole image on or off.
So you did some good work earlier that's saving you now?
Yes, but you know what? This is one of the things I was talking about that Illustrator professors would probably get mad at me about.
Even though it's helping you now?
Well, this is a good thing.
Okay.
But
what you're about to do next?
But yes, I haven't been paying attention to that for a long time since I have so much stuff to do.
What word were you going to use instead, Robbie?
Just
Don't.
a bad.
We've got children watching.
I know, a bad word.
Impressionable.
Okay. So anyway, so I did a good thing here.
Good.
So I'm just going to resize all of these, like 80%.
You're going to make them globally 80%
Yeah.
of what they were. 20% smaller. Okay.
Do you think that's too small?
It's, you know, I'm doing cinematography right now, Robbie. So no, I don't think that's too small.
Okay.
It's really the general gesture of him that you have to get here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the right page.
And in fact, Catherine and April's original note was to put all 6 of them across the top of the page. Oh. And in order for that to happen, they would have gotten very small.
Yeah.
So I think you're actually keeping them larger than they would have been. Yeah.
So top left, then middle left needs to go up here. And then bottom left needs to go up here.
Yeah.
And then middle right. Oops. Top right needs to go down. Uh-oh. I have to turn off the
If any of you
mask.
are dizzied by Robbie's machinations,
you gotta just be dizzy.
I'm with you.
Okay.
But there's probably a handful of people out there that know what she's doing and are following.
So
Yes.
now the trick is,
Yes.
I think I'm probably gonna have to move this copy over a little bit so that I can make room for the second. Oh boy, now they're all named different things. Okay.
Do I need to shorten the copy?
No.
Good.
No.
Good. That was the right answer. But see, I got credit for generously offering. Did I get credit for generously offering, or did you sense it as a bluff?
I sensed it as a bluff. Should I think maybe I need to move the copy first.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. If I move the copy first, now see, if you move the copy first, then that whole edge is wasted because I can't move the copy farther over than that.
Right, there's rules
Yeah.
in layout. So,
and the same goes with the up and down.
But you can move the illustration over a little more, can't you?
Well, so what I'm worried about is here. So if this panel is going to go across here, for these to connect in sort of the same way that this box will connect.
I think it's okay for the illustration to be on one side and the text to be on the other, as long as the panel shows them being part of the same beat in the story.
So I would have to move this closer to the
gutter.
Gutter.
So that's what we're going to have to sort of trust the process, that the gutter will be printed consistently. And we can ask April how much room we have to fool around there.
This is about where I've been putting it on the crossover ones.
Good. And so this one is a little bit of a problem because it's so many words. Is that it?
Yeah. So I think. Shoot.
Here's another option, Robbie. You don't have to have the equal spacing. You don't have to give 2/3 to the top content and 1/3 to the bottom content. You could give 70% to the top content and only 30% to the bottom content.
I see. And make these skinnier and taller.
Yeah. Well, not even skinnier and taller, just taller. And then you might buy an extra line of copy in each case.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Because then the comic looks like its own thing, and the bottom looks like it's just the foundation that the comic is sitting on. I think actually it's good to have the comic have a little bit more real estate, so your eye sees it as the main content. You could have some of the type wrap under Ben so that Ben is a little inset.
There's not enough type to do that, I think. I think it would just look kind of herky-jerky.
I agree. Just wanted to throw it out there to hear how bad a suggestion it was.
So I think on this one I have to put the I have to put the copy to the left of Ben because of that.
For the same
that
problem.
edge of the page problem. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, real quick.
Yeah.
Is it better to put the copy horizontally under Ben in each case? Let Ben be all by himself above it. I think that would work a little bit better. I think it would mask the difference in the length a little bit more. And it would make it easier to read. Right?
Yes.
And then you could center Ben above the copy in each case.
This is where this is a problem.
Why? Oh, because of the darn gutter.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's see. What happens if we do this? What happens if we do this?
And sort of mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I want to make sure that these guys are on the same horizon.
Robbie.
Yes.
Given that Ben is sort of at an angle right here, what if you made a roughly triangular text box?
Okay.
That nested with his.
Yeah.
So you can make the text box whatever shape you want it to be.
You know what I do? I do something different that's probably not good.
You push it out of the way with your object?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I put this thing on a different layer.
Hey, I like that.
So that I can turn those all off if I need to. They're easy to select.
Nice.
Okay, good.
Okay, was that helpful?
Let's see what it looks like.
Yeah, I like that.
What about this over here?
Well, same thing. I think it can
make it
triangular too. Then you could get then he.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. So let me move Ben down here in the art. Let me move him over. Oh no.
Because on most of the pages and spreads in this book, the convention is to read from upper left to lower right and then jump over the gutter. Robbie, on this spread, where we're asking people to read left to right across the gutter, we'll probably have to add some sort of wayfinding, some sort of an arrow, something to suggest this is a different scheme all of a sudden. Sorry, but hopefully we're making it worth your while with the delight. Well.
It's, I think maybe because
I like
this isn't
the sort
wide
of symmetry
enough.
of that, but I think it would work better.
You know what? It's okay. If I bump this up, that shaft will come up.
Good.
The word shaft will come up. There we go.
Good.
Although.
Do you have to indent here? Is that a rule?
It's kind of a rule. Although April has said that it's not that important. So okay.
Because in that particular case, the indent is not serving you.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yes, that looks much better, right?
Thank you. I think so. Yeah.
I'm going to twist him a little bit so his foot pulls away from that.
Yeah. Although, is that going to make him look like he's like falling? I don't know until you try it.
We'll see.
This has Ben attempting a move on the scooter that he's always wanted to do called a tail whip. The premise of book 1, Ben Yokoyama and the Cookie of Doom, is that
better?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
Is that Ben has gotten the fortune cookie that says, live each day as if it were your last. And so, of course, since he knows it's possible that it's his last day on Earth, he has to do all sorts of things. And one of the things is to do a perfect tail whip on his scooter, which he's never before managed. And one of the reasons that it's working at this point is that he is trying to impress an 6-year-old, I think she's 6, named
Mona,
who is kind of a twerp.
She's down here.
She's kind of wonderful. There she is. There's Mona. Mona is pressuring Ben. Even though he's older and supposedly wiser, he's letting peer pressure get to him, and he's attempting a very dangerous trick because he's trying to show off. But sometimes this kind of pressure leads you to do things that you otherwise wouldn't.
I'm twisting him a little bit here, too.
I think that's good. Yep, I think that actually makes a lot of sense, right?
Okay, so that's what the spread would look like.
I think the spread is getting much more interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Okay.
Oh, and is he going to be breaking the plane there, or you just haven't dealt with that yet?
Although I do like that kind of.
Because he's up high, you would need to get rid of the ground beneath him, because that's kind of defeating the purpose.
Yeah.
Right? But I do like... So Robbie would be then tweaking a convention. The convention being that the panel is supposed to contain whatever's happening within it, but here she'd be having him break through the container to sort of emphasize that he's up high.
I mean, maybe it's a little too... Maybe it's too...
Yeah. But I like the idea, Robbie.
So I'm going to make this...
What's the problem?
That our copy here now, that chunk is...
It's too tall?
Too tall, and I can't make it any less tall.
So
Partly, you know why? Look what you did.
What?
1 paragraph, 2 paragraph, 3 paragraph.
You know what you can
4
do, Robbie?
paragraph,
You can
5 paragraphs in 6 lines.
This is the kind of rage that Robbie gets when she's disrespecting the sanctity of the author's judgment. But I'm giving you permission, if you need to in this particular case, to mash all those thoughtfully separated lines together. No, they shouldn't be. They can't be. The copy editors would object. And the copy editors are wise.
Let me just see what happens here.
Yeah.
I mean, I could break the plane with him here.
And that particular panel's just a little squeezed, right? It's a little bit different.
It's skinnier.
Yeah.
I should make these like even-ish. Basically what's going to happen in the end of this anyway is that I'm going to hand draw all these.
Right.
So that they're a little
look a
wobbly.
little more organic. Yeah. You could, if you wanted to, and this could be a terrible idea, but you could make this one have a sort of strange Utah-like shape popping up into that to emphasize that he's up in the air there, and to make this look a little bit like an arc, so that these have a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? To emphasize the sort of arciness of what Ben is doing.
Like, hold on, let me just see what we're talking about.
Since you have the smaller copy in that one in the middle, it could add a neat shape. Yeah, something like that. Subtle.
Let me just see what it would look like.
Because you could move the copy in both the upper left and the upper right up a little bit if you needed more clearance. You have some space up above where you're starting right now. Oops. Tell the people what you're thinking, Robbie. We need some content here.
I mean, I vaguely like this idea. I'm not sure if it if it just seems a little...
For what it's worth, I like it because it really shows the arc of his...
Of his jump?
Yeah. I don't know if people even need to think too much about that. I think it'll just be there, and it'll emphasize the sort of kinetic theme of this page. I know that sounds like I'm just saying words.
That does. You are just saying words.
But it is. It is. It has a... Oh, I like the one right before where Ben is barreling towards us on the sidewalk. Let's see, can I focus on that? Look at this. So this is, if you pull back, you can see spread after spread. Oh my God. Ah! Oh my gosh.
There it is.
You see how much time this is taking just for Robbie to edit this one spread? How many spreads are in this book, Robbie?
So gosh darned many.
So golly darn many.
Okay, so if this is what it looks like, I guess, do these need to go up?
They do eventually, but focus, you know you have room, so don't finesse that at this point. Let's see what this means for the middle.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to...
My arm is starting to tire from holding this iPhone.
Well, we don't have to keep going. I mean, if this is...
Can you hastily reach a gratifying conclusion and then...
I can try.
Then do this finessing later? I think it would be awesome to give people a sense of what this spread is going to look like.
Okay. What am I going to do now? Okay, so I think...
I love that.
Have to do this.
And I think not just because it was my idea.
I think you love it because it was your idea.
It might be that's why I love it.
But I think it was a good idea.
Thanks,
I think
Rob.
it was a good idea.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm doing this business again where I have to paste into my document.
I'm going to rest my arm on your shoulder now.
No, I'm going to be wobbling around.
But I need some respite. I'm not cut out for this kind
I've been overdoing this
of long-term
for hours.
Oh my gosh, my arm is going to start trembling. What's happening over here?
Okay, I'm making the panels just sort of quickly.
Oh, okay. Is there going to be a screen over the panels the way you're showing here, the light gray?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's sort of, oh gosh.
That's the convention in this book for panels?
No, there's no convention. In fact, one of the things that I got scolded about
thoughtfully, lovingly scolded, Robbie.
Was that I don't have a convention for panels. And I kind of like that. I like not having everything have to be the same.
Hodgepodge approach?
I like
or higgledy-piggledy. How would you describe it?
I don't actually know the difference between hodgepodge and higgledy-piggledy.
I'm sure there's very substantive difference, or some writer wouldn't have differentiated between it. Yeah,
higgledy-piggledy seems to me a little bit more haphazard.
Okay.
Like higgledy-piggledy seems like I didn't know what I was doing, so it just...
I think actually higgledy-piggledy is an adjective describing a process, and a hodgepodge is a noun.
It's just a mishmash of things.
Describing the result of the higgledy-piggledy process. So you actually probably are...
I'm wrong.
No, you're taking a higgledy-piggledy approach to hodgepodge creation. I think that's what's happening right now.
Okay.
Okay.
So now...
Yes.
Now I can get rid of this thing and this thing and update that and take these panels away.
Oh, I like what's happening here.
Oh, hold on.
I like how just a little bit of wobbliness and organicness of your line makes it look so much different, so much less clinical. Robbie, you're taking away the gratifying things.
No, here we go. Ding.
Oh, that is so gratifying.
Okay. Then I would make this one panel.
I think so.
And then but we're trying to have him scoot off the...
You need to have him scoot off,
edge.
Right? Yeah. Unless you want to leave him scooting off the edge with Mona in the lower right.
Yes, because there's not going to be anything with Mona down here.
Okay, and it's important that she's looking at him going away, right? Mona is watching Ben scoot away.
Yes.
So in the middle here, we're just going to have two panels. That's fine.
Okay, so I think I'm going to put the text to the right.
Okay.
Because otherwise it'll just be a stacked version of him scooting here and then him scooting. So we want the movement to be from left to right. So, do you think I should make these versions bigger because we have more room here?
No.
No.
Because they're part of a sequence, and if you make those look bigger, they'll look out of the sequence.
Okay. I got rid of that big dark block. And I gotta move him over right. Uh-oh, who's this little ghosty down here?
You have a ghosty?
Yeah, see? He's not supposed to be there, this little
That's a little relic of something.
Yeah. Oops. He was just like a leftover piece.
Robbie, how close do you think we are to satisfaction?
Very close, very close.
Let people off the hook
No.
All right, people, hold on.
Just hold your horses, people. Have some patience. Don't you recognize that this is a long, enduring process?
It's Sunday morning. People want to eat their donuts. They want to watch their Netflix.
Oh, is this a live one?
No, it's not. But
okay. It's not Sunday morning. It's no longer Sunday morning.
Because everyone is going to watch this instantly upon it being posted, it's still Sunday morning. All our friends on the West Coast, they're still asleep. They're going to wake up, see this premium content, but they're going to be tapping their foot at this point, saying, "Robbie, could you get to the
I just want people to know that the glory doesn't happen overnight. All right, it does actually happen overnight. It doesn't happen in 2 seconds.
No, so far it happens in 34 minutes and 13 seconds.
Okay, come on now.
What?
We're getting there. Look.
Oh my goodness, I like that. Come on, that slight arc, isn't that kind of cool?
It's actually fantastic. I think you did a good thing.
Thank you. And so now...
So that's basically...
Now here's the second. Are you going to cheat a white space in the gutter to make it clear that there's a panel break?
Oh, yes.
The answer is I think you should.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry. I forgot about that. What do you mean cheat a white space?
Well, you're gonna have to make it.
Anything.
You're gonna have to make it thicker than the other ones because the gutter is going to swallow a good chunk of it. Yeah. It's
gonna look not as good on here.
Our goal is that the eye will see that as being equally thick as the other spaces between the panels.
Yeah.
Right. Robbie, this is really getting there. You might need to.
I think I'm still gonna have to do arrows though, because this.
I think they can be pretty subtle. If you just have a little arrow to the end of the copy, it will
like.
I'm looking at the wrong thing. Okay.
It's funny. There's no words down here.
I think you need to pull the middle panel bottom up a little bit so that the lower left copy is a little less crowded.
Wait.
Here, I think you need to cheat that up a little bit because this is feeling pretty crowded.
That was just because
just finessing.
I was trying to do it quick because you were complaining about how long I was taking.
Wait, was I complaining or observing? I think there's a very important difference.
It was a complaint.
I was thinking about
I
the
heard
people
it as a whiny complaint on behalf of everyone else. So I appreciate.
I am advocating for the viewership.
You are advocating for the viewership.
Yeah.
Okay. So no, what was it? What was it that you just told me to do before this? I was just saying
to buy a little bit of room here. Oh, I was saying before this, there needs to be a little arrow going. Bloop,
oh yeah, okay.
Bloop. Very subtle, like not biggie.
Like a. Okay, well I'll see. Like.
I think that's all you need. Yeah, just little wisps to make clear to the poor, baffled reader.
Okay, let's
see. That you're messing with the things that they've come to count on as navigational aids.
Dun, 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 dun.
Hey, that's pretty great.
I have to fix that, but...
Is there a way to show people what it looked like before? In a quick sort of way? Maybe a PDF of it? Maybe the email. Show them that email. Right?
Oh,
I think the email had... so you can see... Oh, there. Look. Okay. So that's where we started. And hopefully...
It's all out of focus. Is that, or is that just my eyes?
I think it's your eyes. You've been up for a really long time. Okay, so take that in, see where we were.
Right.
And then we are flipping to that, which I think is fun, and I think
you did a very good job, Matthew.
We, Robbie. We, there is no I in we. There is no I in we? There isn't.
There isn't.
There isn't an I in we.
Unless you are talking about
do you know what?
The we.
I in we sounds a lot like ennui. Is that what you feel, Robbie?
No, I feel empowered. I think we did a good job.
Excellent. Excellent. Robbie, do you want me to make you some eggs?
Yes, please.
Okay, I can do that.
Thank you.
Friends, this is how the sausage gets made. This is one little slice of Robbie's present joy. Robbie, when does this book need to be done?
Tuesday.
Tuesday? How you feeling?
Because tomorrow's President's Day. Thank you, presidents, for all dying tomorrow. Because
guys, we really needed the kids to go to school tomorrow.
No, but you know what? Because it's offices are closed, so my deadline got bumped a day.
It's a sword that cuts both ways.
Yeah. So, but you know what? I only have a couple more pages left.
I'm so proud of you.
But you know what?
What?
I still have to do all the back matter. I haven't even thought about it.
I got your back matter back, Robbie.
Thanks, man.
All right, I got ideas for you. By back matter, Robbie means we're going to have a little author's bio. And in this book, we wrote a dialogue that is a very sassy conversation between Robbie and me that tells you very little about ourselves. I said I got you, Robbie.
You do.
There's also going to be a history of fortune cookies, which might surprise you. Where do you think fortune cookies came from? Do you think they are a Chinese invention?
No.
Oh, friends, I know you know the answer. They're not. They're, in fact, Japanese of origin. At a certain point in American history...
There's still a little bit of debate about it.
Well,
we don't want to be authorities.
We don't want to be authorities. We're not authorities. There's a lot of evidence that shows fortune cookies
and mythology.
And you could still go to Kyoto and get the original type of fortune cookie,
that aren't sweet,
which is made
savory.
They're made with miso instead of what is it? Almond?
Sugar.
Ooh, I think there's still sugar. Anyway, I should read my own fortune cookie history.
Yes,
I wrote it a long time ago.
Notes.
Robbie, I'm going to make you sad. You also have to illustrate a map of Ben's neighborhood, but I drew it on the back of a napkin. And I'm going to give it to you.
Actually, that's one of my sticky notes is you're going to have to draw this map.
I already have. I've drawn it. And you need to... It's going to be, I think, the end pages of this book. Like you open up the book and the first thing you see is a map of Ben's neighborhood. We're making this longer than it has to be.
This is not about length. This is about quality and depth.
The first person who gets to this point in the video and texts or messages me the word Excalibur... gets a free book of some sort.
Ugh.
All right?
Okay.
You don't think that's a good idea?
No, it's a great idea if we can remember to send it.
Oh.
We have to send a package of gummy bears to somebody.
To Sarah.
To Sarah.
And some signed books to Dana, because she won a contest.
Yeah.
And there's a prize we'll never, ever fulfill. Our friend Morgan
won our garlic roaster.
But it was too cumbersome to think of sending it to Canada.
So we gave it to somebody else.
If he had... Don't tell Morgan that. He doesn't need to know that the door is shut on his
the
ever
door
getting...
is shut.
You have to go to New York City, break into a Brooklyn apartment... and forcibly remove it from our friend who loves it and sends us garlic roasting pictures.
I think she probably sleeps with it under her pillow, so you're never getting it back.
We've told her that there's a threatening Canadian who lurks in anticipation of one day owning it. And with that, it's time for me to go make some more coffee.
Excalibur.
Excalibur. Thanks, friends. Bye. Bye.